me ask y'all something. Have y'all ever did something or bought something or invested in something and you get it or you see it, you do it, and you just totally regret even bothering doing anything, partaking, seeing? Like, you regret it so badly that you even feel ashamed that you even made a move in the first place. You ever experienced that? Well, that is exactly how I felt this week watching the first Raw and Smackdown shows of 2021. I literally feel ashamed that I even watched these two shows. I respectfully challenge any pure WWE mark to try their best to defend this week's Raw and SmackDown, the first Raw and SmackDown of 2021, which Raw was Legends Night. I challenge any hardcore WWE mark to try to defend this week's Raw and SmackDown against any other promotion, whether it's AEW, New Japan, Stardom, whatever promotion. Because I believe truly in my heart, y'all can't honestly say that this week's Raw and SmackDowns were good. I don't believe y'all could say that. I really don't. I don't. And if you are able to say it, with all due respect, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I 1,000,000% times infinity don't believe you. I want to go ahead and get this out of the way so I can get to the actual good stuff. Okay? You have your first Monday Night Raw of 2021, which was supposed to be a Legends night. And literally each of the legends on there barely even had segments. And a big portion of those segments involved Randy Orton disrespecting those legends. Examples like Ric Flair, The Big Show, Mark Henry. Goldberg comes out and blames Drew McIntyre for disrespecting those legends, yet Randy Orton was shown throughout the show blatantly disrespecting different legends to their face. Goldberg might want to look back at that tape because that might have been a big, ginormous botch. And you just flat out have the wrong guy. I mean, it was already bad enough that, the timing of the ending of the episode was bad. But you accuse somebody that hadn't been disrespecting any of the legends, especially, after showing clear example of how he praised the immortal Hulk Hogan. Whereas then you had Randy Orton disrespect some of the legends backstage to their face. And yet you confront Drew McIntyre and not Randy Orton. That makes a lot of sense. And honestly, I had a feeling this Legends Night was going to bomb badly when one of those said legends is Alicia Fox. Are you kidding me? I think probably the only bright spot in this show was seeing Melina, as gorgeous as she wants to be, and the main event match between Drew McIntyre and Keith Lee. I'm gonna just get into some of this stuff because it just, like I said, I feel ashamed that I even watched this. So, is there a reason why we keep having this feud between Elias and AJ Styles? Technically, two heels going at it. And for the second time, Elias loses to AJ Styles. It's not really normal for two heels to be constantly going at it, but apparently these two have been back and forth lately. Doesn't really make sense to me. You have a really, really bad botch and the Nature Boy Ric Flair accidentally tripping up Charlotte Flair, which led to Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce defeating the two, which led to Charlotte getting in her father's face and telling him to stay out of her business and to leave. Okay. Y'all need to make up your mind on whether you gonna bring back Charlotte and keep her a face or a heel. It's about to get to that point where she's gonna be the female Big Show when it comes to going from heel to face to heel, and so forth and so on. I don't know what this is supposed to signify, but y'all need to make up your minds with Charlotte Flair. Because it's starting to get kind of ridiculous. And now it's, with that being as bad as it is, you have your champions getting pinned. You have your champions getting pinned. Charlotte Flair, pinned. Current women's tag team champion with Asuka. Bobby Lashley, United States champion, got pinned by Matt Riddle. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, your current Raw tag team champions. Shelton Benjamin pinned, facing the Lucha House Party. And worse yet, I know this doesn't involve a champion, but Dana Brooke beat Shayna Baszler in like 30 or 40 seconds? Yo, I don't see how anybody can defend this. How? How can anybody defend this against any other show or promotion? How? To be real with y'all, and I know this might be me overreacting, but I'm not convinced that Shayna Baszler will ever win another singles title in WWE in her WWE career. I don't even see it happening. Losing to Dana Brooke in 30, 40 seconds? Getting pinned by Lana? Oh, man. We're talking about somebody that was the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. The first one to ever become a two-time NXT Women's Champion. I'm surprised she hasn't put in her resignation by now. I don't know where her contract situation is. And the funny thing about it is, I'm not even a Shayna Baszler fan. Although I do respect her for the fact that she is a Final Fantasy VII fan. But I'm not even a Shayna Baszler fan. And I can see there's a lot clearly wrong with this picture. Jeff Hardy's been on a losing streak. Jeff Hardy might as well be a jobber. Randy Orton disrespects legends, gets a victory against Jeff Hardy. Random match. No, there's no revenge, no opportunity to take advantage of an appearance by the Fiend, a return by the Fiend. Just has his way on this show, and just gets a win over Jeff Hardy. You had a pretty good match between Drew McIntyre, Keith Lee, where all the legends came out and watched. And then afterwards, Goldberg appears, confronts Drew McIntyre, and now supposedly it's looking like it's going to be Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble against Goldberg. And then you got the Legends, which most of them barely even had segments. But you got to see Tatanka, IRS, Molly Holly, Mickey James, Tori Wilson, Melina, Mark Henry, Ric Flair, Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, Hulk Hogan, Goldberg, Alicia Fox, which I don't even know why she's even deemed a legend. And that's the Raw to start off 2021. Yeah, yeah. Try to defend that. SmackDown. My problem with SmackDown is either hit or miss and no consistency at all. I mean, you had a decent match for the Intercontinental title between Apollo and Big E. Weird double pin finish to match restart. This gauntlet match, which I figured was going to take up the most of the show. And it looks like Sonya Deville is back and is going to be, I guess, Adam Pearce's assistant. Seems kind of weird, but okay, I guess. We got new tag team champions as Rude and Ziggler defeated Street Profits. Oh my goodness. Gauntlet matches were pretty good, especially once Shinsuke fought. Sami Zayn got eliminated instantly. You had a good showdown between Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke. And then you had a good showdown between Shinsuke and Baron Corbin, King Corbin. Then you had a good showdown between Shinsuke and Daniel Bryan, which was actually the main highlight of the night, if you ask me. And then he gets done dirty by losing to Adam Pearce with a barrage of assistance from Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. And because of that, at the Royal Rumble, Adam Pearce, a man that hasn't wrestled in 6 years, gets a Universal title shot against Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. So these are potentially your two top title matches for the Royal Rumble. Potentially Drew versus Goldberg for the WWE Championship. And then Adam Pearce versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. Oh, man. I really hope this is just one big, gigantic mistake and they just hit the reset button next week and just fix everything and give us a better Royal Rumble. I really hope that's in the plan. I really do. Because this week for Raw and SmackDown was absolute trash. The main bright spot of WWE was NXT, which we had New Year's Evil. I have to say, New Year's Evil was good. New Year's Evil was good. Karrion Kross versus Damian Priest was actually better than I thought it was going to be. It was a legit challenge for Karrion Kross, who did end up getting the victory with some sort of running forearm, which, I mean, not what I expected, but I was okay with him doing that and not tapping out Damian Priest. So I was cool with that ultimately because I didn't think Damian Priest was going to defeat Karrion Kross anyway. He had an actual really good cruiserweight championship match between Santos Escobar and Grand Metalik. It was actually surprisingly good. And I gotta give a shout out to Lindsay Dorado for the Luchazord, the Megazord outfit that he wore. But I was happy with the cruiserweight title match. It was legit. But Santos Escobar retains. I mean, yeah, it was already a surprise seeing Lucha House Party even in NXT, but I guess they gotta do something as far as the cruiserweight division, and Santos Escobar has beaten quite you know many folks. I mean, Jake Atlas, Swerve. Now he's beaten Grand Metalik. I hope Kushida eventually gets a title shot, but yeah. But overall, good match. We had the new and improved, unstoppable fighting machine, Xia Li, making her return, and she annihilated Katrina Cortez. I definitely like what I saw. New entrance theme, new look. You had Boa there. You had whoever that hidden Grand Master, which I still think is Karen Q. And just Xia Li came out on fire, unstoppable. She got hit like maybe a few times, wasn't phased, and just annihilated with strikes and dominated Katrina Cortez. I just really, really hope they keep Xia strong, and who knows? She could potentially grow into the threat of being the number one contender to Io Shirai's women's championship. So I definitely like this new Xia Li. I think it'll work. I hope they do well with it. Yeah, the last woman standing match between Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley. And these ladies definitely brought it, tore the house down. I do think it was pretty funny that Rhea Ripley stuffed Dakota Kai into one of those lockers, which I didn't think was big or wide enough for anybody to fit in there, but she got Dakota Kai in there. And overall, it was very hard hitting. I mean, we saw Raquel get speared through a glass door. Saw Rhea Ripley hit a swanton or a senton bomb onto Raquel through a table. Saw Raquel do that one arm choke bomb to Rhea through pretty much the stage. It was brutal. It was back and forth. These two behemoths really brought it. And ultimately, Raquel Gonzalez gets the victory, beating the 10 count to win the last woman standing match. Now, supposedly, the rumor is that because of this, will be sort of Rhea Ripley's exit from NXT and on to the main roster. That's what the rumor is, as well as Damian Priest. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I could understand that being how these two exit NXT. So we'll see. We will see. Um, had a mixed tag match. Interesting mixed tag match. Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano going up against Shotzi Blackheart and Kushida. Kushida and Shotzi. Interesting combo, but I like it. Um, Not the best match, but hey, I liked who was in it. I liked who was in it. Um, but yeah, I like Kushida. I like Shotzi. And I do like Johnny and Candice. I don't like the name of The Way for their stable. I really don't like that stable name. But hey, it was an interesting mixed tag match. And I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. But I really hope that Kushida does get a cruiserweight title shot or some sort of title shot soon. You know, he hasn't really lost much in NXT. Kushida needs to get that rub soon. He needs to get that rub. And then, of course, we had the main event: the Prince, Finn Balor, against the Violent Artist, Kyle O'Reilly, Part 2. Um, and once again, it ended with some bleeding. And I believe it was announced that apparently there were injuries as well in this match. I don't know the details, but Finn Balor got the victory via submission on Kyle O'Reilly. That I did not expect. I did not expect him to get a submission victory over Kyle O'Reilly. That's a big deal. That's a really, really big deal. And honestly, the Undisputed Era came down later to kind of comfort and console Kyle O'Reilly, but man, I got I gotta be honest. Where does he really go from here? Because I mean that's two losses to Finn Balor, with one being a tap out. I, mm, what do you do? What do you do? So it was a good match. I wouldn't say it was as great as the first one, which I mean it's not saying too much. It was still a good match, but just the ending I did not expect. I did not expect Kyle to tap out. But yeah, that's what went down. So two things that were announced as well, or actually three things. So number one, the next NXT takeover will be on Valentine's Day, which Valentine's Day this year is on Sunday. So we're going to have a takeover on Valentine's Day. I don't know if they're going to give it a special name or whatnot. I mean, which they should. But we're getting a Valentine's Day NXT takeover. Second, for the first time ever, we're going to have a women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. So, this, I mean, it's something new, but like, I mean, there's not really many tag teams in NXT for the women. I mean, off the top of my head, let's see. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai would be one. Maybe you do Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell as another. Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter would be a third one. I mean, those are the only three I could think off the top of my head. And maybe you even pull a trigger and have Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir make their return into this Dusty Tag Classic. I mean, after all, this would be the best opportunity they would have to get back on NXT and get reestablished. Another thought. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Mia Yim, or AKA Reckoning, but I wouldn't mind seeing maybe Mia Yim return to NXT, team up with Mercedes Martinez as a tag team. That would be a killer tag team, if you ask me. Mercedes and Mia? I think that could work. But, I mean, like I said, you don't really have many tag teams for the women, especially in NXT. So, it'll be interesting to see what they put together for that. And of course, we got the men's Dusty Tag Team Classic. And they've already announced the participants. So, the participants, we got the tag team of August Gray and Kurt Stallion, which pretty much have been performing on 205 Live. We got the Bollywood Boys, same thing, 205 Live. We got Breezango, former NXT Tag Team Champs. We got Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. Why this is even a tag team in the first place is still beyond me. We have Everrise, which I like Everrise. I knew them back when they were 3.0 and 4.0 back in Chikara, so I actually know them well. We have the Grizzled Young Veterans, former NXT UK Tag Team Champions, and also they were former finalists in last year's Dusty Tag Classic when they lost to Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. We have Imperium, former NXT Tag Team Champions. We have the team of Jake Atlas and Isaiah Swerve Scott. Why in the world are they a tag team? Didn't they just finish wrestling each other? Jake Atlas beat Swerve, and then Swerve returned the favor? Why are they even a tag team? Why? What? That's weird. That's weird. Kushida and Leon Ruff, that's weird too, because that's weird. Legado del Fantasma's Joaquin Wild and Raul Mendoza, so that's cool that they're in there. Of course, the Undisputed Era is Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, which they announced that. And The Way, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory. So, I mean, you have a couple of legit tag teams in this tournament. I mean, Bollywood Boys, Breezango, Everrise, Grizzled Young Veterans, Imperium, Legado de Fantasma. I mean, you actually have some legit tag teams in here. You got some just random folks put together. But I'm really hoping a legit tag team will win it this year. I really do. So, it's an interesting lineup. It's a very interesting lineup. But we'll see what happens. we'll definitely see what happens. But you know, NXT got some things coming up, so hey, all power to them. So I just wanted to take a moment to dabble a little bit in New Japan Pro Wrestling's New Year's Dash that took place. Um, I mean, it wasn't anything super memorable, but one of the things I wanted to point out was just a few highlights. He had Gabriel Kidd versus Yuji Nagata, the opening match. Of course, Yuji Nagata won. Um, you had Yu Uemura teaming up with Tiger Mask, going up against Doki and Minoru Suzuki, which Minoru Suzuki got the Gotch style pile driver on Uemura. But if anything, it's good to see. Like I said, it's good to see Tiger Mask back. Which he was in the New Japan Rambo on the first night of Wrestle Kingdom 15. So it's great to see Tiger Mask back. So I thought that was really cool. Um, and then you had Hiroyoshi Tenzan, Satoshi Kojima, and Yota Tsuji going up against the Empire's Jeff Cobb, the Great Okarn, and Will Ospreay, and they ended up pretty much jacking up Hiroyoshi Tenzan. And as a matter of fact, he was stretchered away after that match. Apparently, it's a neck injury, and it's supposed to make a full recovery. But yeah, the Empire jacked up Hiroyoshi Tenzan. So yeah, the Empire's looking really strong. I'm starting to like this stable. I'm sure they'll add more to it eventually, but with Will Ospreay, the Great Okarn, Jeff Cobb, and of course you have B Priestley there as well. So got something good there. Um, you had Bullet Club of El Phantasmo, Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori, Gorillas of Destiny, Defeat, Suzuki Guns, El Desperado, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi. Um, I mean, like I said, for the most part, this card was loaded with tag team matches. There was pretty much the first match was really the only singles match, but you have Bullet Club versus Chaos, which Bullet Club was, Jay White making his last appearance slash match that he's obligated to. Jay White, Evil, Bad Luck Fale, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens against Chaos's Yoshihashi, Tomohiro Ishii, Hiroki Goto, Toru Yano, and Kazuchika Okada. Um, Ishii gets the vertical drop brainbuster on Jay White and the pin. Really sad to see Jay White go out like that, but I mean, it is what it is. And the main event was Lij versus Master Wato, Sho, Rocky Romero, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Kota Ibushi. Which, you had all 5 members of Lij in there. Bushi hits the MX on Master Wato. I gotta be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not too big on Master Wato. So him taking the pin doesn't surprise me. I wonder when Yo is supposed to come back. Hopefully he comes back soon. Because it'll be good to have him back. But yeah, to be honest with you, other than the beatdown of Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and just seeing Jay White again, there wasn't really too much that went down at New Year's Dash, so or New Year Dash, but just thought I'd touch on it a little bit. Um, a few things to keep an eye out for with Stardom. So we got some title matches to look forward to come I believe it's January 17th. Yeah, we got some title matches to look forward to. We got let's see, we're gonna look forward to Saya Ida defending the Future of Stardom championship against Unaki Sayaka of the Cosmic Angels, who challenged Saya Ida. So got that to look forward to. Um, we got Julia making a Wonder of Stardom championship defense against Natsuko Tora of Oedo Tai, and this is going to be a no rules match. And honestly, this might be what ends Julia's Wonder of Stardom championship run. I mean, no rules. We'll have to see what happens, though. We'll have to see what happens. Um, Natsupoi and Himeka of Donna Del Mundo challenged Konami and B Priestley for the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles. So we got that to look forward to. Shuri wants to give Momo Watanabe a SWA title shot after they had a 15-minute draw in their most recent match. So that's another match to look forward to. And then, of course, we have Utami Hayashishita looking to defend the World of Stardom Championship against Donna Del Mundo's Micah. So this is looking rather good. And who knows? If you ask me, I think Starlight Kid deserves another high speed title shot against Azumi. I hope that gets added to the picture as well. I would like to see that. But yeah, so got some matches to look forward to come January 17th at Korakuen Hall. So keep that in mind for all you Stardom fans out there. Now, want to get into some AEW New Year's Smash. Night one. Not a lot of matches, but it's all cool. Um, we had the Young Bucks and SCU team up to face the Acclaimed and the Hybrid 2. Um, Wish it could have been a longer match, but they were able to get the victory where we saw it was pretty neat to see some of the combinations that happened, like between the Young Bucks and SCU when they teamed up to do not only the BTE trigger but also the best Meltzer ever. So hey, thought that was really cool. But and then keep in mind, SCU is still under that stipulation that the next time they lose a tag team match, they will disband forever. So we'll see how long they can keep that streak going. We had Wardlow versus Jake Hager, and I gotta be straight with y'all. I gotta be honest. I did not expect Wardlow to win. I didn't. So, but Wardlow won. He hit the F10 on Jake Hager and got the victory. They fist bumped and they were cool afterwards. But I gotta be honest, I did not expect Wardlow to win. But it was a pretty entertaining match. I liked it for what it was. It's another one that could have been longer, but I liked it for what it was. Um, we had Cody Rhodes versus Matt Seidel, which was good. I like both of these two. So it was definitely no surprise that these two, but I mean, it was another 10-minute long match. So, I mean, another one of those that could have lasted a little longer, but unfortunately it didn't. But I mean, hey, it was good for what it was. I just hope that this doesn't put a halt on Matt Seidel's ascension up the ranks, because I mean he hasn't really lost that many matches, to be honest with you, since being in AEW. So I mean it is what it is. But yeah. Then after the match, Serpentico and Luther come out and attack Matt Seidel and Cody. And then Snoop Dogg comes out and Snoop Dogg hits one of the cheesiest, lamest frog splashes I've ever seen. I'm like, old man, what are you trying to do? I mean, it was already weird enough that he was Cody's uh, coach during his match with Matt Seidel, but then he hit a frog splash on Serpentico. Well, I mean, hey, it's Snoop Dogg. You can't hate. You can't be too critical on that. You can't be too critical on that. It was it was a bad frog splash, but it's Snoop Dogg. You can't hate on that. You can't hate on that. But Snoop Dogg did his thing. He entertained, but he should probably stick to rapping. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But it was a very entertaining moment. Um, we had Hikaru Shida defend the AEW Women's Title against Abaddon. She got bit again. She got bloodied up again, but did successfully retain against Abaddon. So that's funny. Both of Abaddon's losses in her AEW career are both to Hikaru Shida. The first one was on Dark, and this on New Year's Smash Night 1. Um, I gotta be honest with y'all. I think deep down they're gonna keep the title on Sheeta until she gets dethroned by Britt Baker. Because honestly, that's really the only other AEW superstar that I could see dethroning Sheeta. I mean, Sheeta's already toppled Nyla Rose twice. So, I mean, and everybody else that's come against her. So, I mean, realistically, the only person I could really see dethroning Sheeta is Britt Baker. And if she can't get the job done, then I give up. I give up. But, and then the main event. The main event was oh so sweet. Kenny Omega defending the AEW World Championship against Ray Phoenix of the Lucha Bros. And let me tell you, there were a lot of great spots in this match. Ray Phoenix flipping out of the tornado DDT was crazy. Him taking a V trigger and then doing a kip up out of it to strike back was crazy. Him reversing a one wing angel into a reverse Rana. Like, these two know each other so well. And honestly, Potential match of the year quality. Even though it may not have been a 20 or 30-minute match, these two have excellent chemistry in Rey Fenix and Kenny Omega. Then, when it came down to it, the crazy ending. The ending that really left all that watched in awe. And I must say, rightfully so. So, after the match, Moxley comes out, was going to take out Kenny Omega. And then here comes the Good Brothers from Impact Wrestling. Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows comes in, take out Moxley. You know, they've already done a number on Rey Fenix. And then everybody's trying to come in and stop the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega, and they're just getting taken out one by one by one by one. Then here come the Young Bucks. And, you know, the Young Bucks show that they're trying to, you know, calm things down with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and such. All that. And 2 super kicks later, and the Young Bucks are too sweeting with the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega to end the evening. Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion. The Young Bucks, the AEW World Tag Team Champions. The Good Brothers, the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. All united for what I believe is safe to say a Bullet Club reunion. Whatever seed that they have planted is definitely one that's gotten my attention. And it also makes me wonder, too, with Jay White, you know, being done with New Japan, you know, he was supposedly the current leader of the Bullet Club. So, could this be a reformation under Kenny Omega's leadership? I don't know. But I like it. I like it a lot. And that's a lot of gold in that ring. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe something will happen next week with Night 2. But I really, really like that ending. And it sent shockwaves. The Good Brothers, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Too sweet. I love it. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have. Man, covered quite a bit, but New Year's Dash was all right. Not really a lot of highlights there. NXT New Year's Evil was great. Night 1 of AEW New Year's Smash was good. But man, SmackDown and Raw were absolute trash. Just SmackDown was a little bit better looking trash than Raw Legends Night. But really, really bad week to start out for Raw and SmackDown. But anyway, let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What did y'all like? What did y'all dislike? What are y'all looking forward to? Like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. And thank you so much for watching. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off. Hope everybody have a blessed weekend. See you soon.